I was raised in Montreal and I spent all of my formative years there. The biggest influence I had was the teachings of the Sacred Heart nuns. They taught us a lot about discipline and commitment and how much it can affect your life and affect the community around you. It wasn't unusual for us as a classroom to collect money and support the missions in Africa. It was just a basic value that we had, and I stuck with it. I stuck with volunteerism. When I first left Montreal, I moved to Winnipeg, and it was February. And it must have been 40 below. It was bitterly cold, and I was a typical Montreal female running around in my high heels and whining a lot. And my sisters told me to stop it and plug into the community and to get tickets to the arts. I said, I don't think anybody goes because it's so cold. And I was totally blown away when I wobbled in there in my high heels and the place was packed. Being 40 below doesn't stop Winnipeggers from enjoying the arts. Using the cold as an excuse not to do anything was just not accepted. What defines a great city? It's got to have a really strong arts and culture environment. If it doesn't have that, it doesn't have anything. It just doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have a pulse. It doesn't hum. The pulse of this place like Winnipeg is so profound that people recognize it when they come in and they want to be part of it. And if that pulse isn't there, I can't imagine how awful it would be. I'm just dead. When I buy a ticket in a foreign country, in a different city, it tells me exactly what that community thinks of their arts and their artists, how often they're performing and how busy the theater is, and what the audience looks like. If it's a nice broad audience and it's young kids and middle-aged people and old people and they all come in together for a performance, that tells me a great deal about the city. That right away sends a message. My interest in the arts and culture in general was always part of the conversation around the dinner table. Being the youngest, if I wanted to be part of that conversation, I certainly had to participate, and they expected me to. They got a real kick out of it when I was chair of the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. Because when I was growing up, their biggest fear was that I would end up being the first female goalie for the Canadians. There's always something in art that touches somebody's soul. It's the only thing we have in common around the world. We have different religions, we have different politics, we have different everything, but what art gives us is the link that holds us all together. I hate the word job. Job to keep the arts alive. It's a privilege to keep the arts alive. All of us are plugged in some way or another in our communities, and it's our responsibility to make sure that the knitting club and the choir and the ballet and the theater survive. It's not a job, it's a privilege. As an arts advocate, I'm proud to go to Ottawa and to the province and the city on behalf of artists and arts organization, and I'll do it anytime they ask me. We can fix the world through arts easily. Just support the artist, let them tell the story of what you're all about, and let that story go around the world so that we all understand each other's hopes and dreams and what makes us what we are. Do you think a hockey game's going to do that?